And David, let's be honest. You've voted against taking action against removing hereditary peers from the House of Lords. You don't want that to happen. You blocked it only in the last week. The key issue here is, will we take responsibility for a better form of politics?
Mr. Cameron.
Right of recall, right to petition,
Mr. Cameron.
and a better House of Commons and Lords.
Let me just make one point after all that Nick said, because I thought there was a slight danger of a sort of holier-than-thou. I think we should all be frank. You know, politics has been in a mess for all of us. We all had MPs with dreadful expenses problems. There are still 3 Labour MPs in court at the moment. There were Liberal MPs that were criticised. And when it comes to party funding, yes, there's been the union money going into Labour from the Unite Union. Yes, the Conservative Party's been too reliant for too long on rich individuals. And yes, the Liberal Democrats took £2.5 million off someone who's still, I think, a criminal on the run, and the money hasn't been paid back. So let's not get too holier-than-thou over all this.
Nick Clegg.
Hang on a minute. Before we bandy about these things, let's be absolutely clear. We were completely exonerated for that. It was years ago. I'm talking about what's been going on now.
Have you paid the money back?
And listen, none of this is going to make any difference if we allow this rotten system in Westminster to carry on, where MPs have jobs for life, where they basically only need to get 20-30% of your votes in their areas, then no questions asked. They don't even need to bother until the next time there's an election. And there's a direct correlation between the hundreds of Labour and Conservative MPs who've got these safe seats, these jobs for life, and the levels of abuse in expenses. And neither of you want to clean up the system from top to toe in the way that we've been advocating for years.
I honestly think we should raise the standard of debate here. There has been awful things that have happened. We've had to take action against lots of MPs who've betrayed the public trust. We're in politics, I hope, for serving the public, not serving ourselves. But we've got to take action that makes a real difference in the future. Now, Nick supports me in reforming the House of Commons and the House of Lords.
Mr. Clegg, can you clarify that?
I think the Conservatives should support us as well.
Can you clarify that assertion?
There was absolutely nothing to support. They did nothing for 13 years.
Do you support
and there's nothing to... No, I mean...
Do you support the alternative vote system in the House of Commons?
What I support is something I've supported all my adult political life, which is a complete clean-up from top to toe of politics, direct elections to the House of Lords. They shouldn't be there just because they've done favours to politicians making the rules that you need to abide by, getting big money out, fair votes for everybody.
The truth is that Nick does support fundamental reform of the House of Commons and the House of Lords. We are going to put it to a referendum next year and let the people decide. When politics breaks down in the way it did, and we had corrupt MPs, then we've got to have a new start, a referendum next year on a new House of Commons and a new House of Lords. That's the way forward. I'm sorry that the Conservatives reject these reforms.
Well, it's rather difficult because Gordon says Nick agrees with Gordon and Nick says Nick doesn't agree with Gordon. So let me try and find something we're all agreed on that we could change and will make a difference. I think it is time that when an MP breaks the rules, that those constituents should be able to throw that Member of Parliament out of Parliament without having to wait for a general election. I think we all agree about that, and whoever wins the next election, we can put that in place straight away.